All right, I'm SatanicNerd. I'll be running this game, Fez. It's a pretty cool game. It's a 2D platformer where you find out you can rotate into 3D, so it gives a lot of puzzling opportunities. It will be the any percent run. Sadly, you couldn't see the save file, but it was a Sonic skin. Sadly, it's not in game, but let's begin. So, can I get a countdown? 1. There's an in-game timer, so that's cool. So I did just think of something. I do have a cheat sheet in my bag which has all the codes which you usually can see in game, but I forgot them in my bag. So if anyone could go grab it, um, it's next to my jacket, next to the window. I could go in a few seconds, but prep preparations, guys. So yeah, we are now just a 2D character in a 2D world. We do not know that we can't turn into 3D yet. Um, but we'll be going up to this guy, this old man, and he has the ability to look into 3D, and he'll be passing that on to us. This game also featured the incentive for wearing a fez. I'm pretty sure that got met really early on. So I will be wearing a fez when the timing is right. Yeah, the first 3 minutes is just lore. We got this knowledge that we can look into 3D from these squid aliens. This is where they share that knowledge with us. He's got 4 bags with him, none are mine. So I will be putting on the fez. Got the fez. No. In the meantime, I'm pretty sure I got to the drive where this is saved. Controller codes. I got the Google Docs, so everything is fine. Oh, the game crashed. No, it didn't. I got the cheat sheet on my phone now, so that's fine. Not sure if Recode is still running for me. Right, left, left, left. As you can see, there's a cube now on my screen. We're not supposed to have that yet, but we do, so that's great. Thankfully, I got it on my phone. It's just a mistake on my part, but we saved it. Backup strats. So yeah, you can see in the screen that the game auto-split for us. And now we can see the tower in all its glory that is 3D. This 4-dimensional being called Dot will help us out in our adventure, explaining everything we'll have to do. But we'll be mashing through all the text, because we know everything. One thing, if you die, you can still open doors like that. We won't be going through that door, but we just opened it. This door or this cube shouldn't be in this place, but there's something wrong in the code, and that's why we can pick it up twice, once here, and once we'll see a QR code on the wall. That will be the other instance where we can grab the same cube in essence. So that's some fun with the rotating, that you can see the other side of the room. Did not mean to grab that corner, but that's fine. I'm not sure how I ended up on the back. That's one of the things with three-dimensional platforming is um, it's sometimes a bit weird where you end up and where you don't. This is one of the harder codes to do because you need to be pressing up as your first input, which means you have to be pressing it before you can control your character. Because if that's the case, then you immediately go back through the door. And that's not something we want, of course. We want to be fast. Yeah, take a picture of the Fez whenever you want. Feel free to do so. See staff making pics. And that's the first area. Here we'll be seeing something we call teleporting. When you're inside an area, so this is a cave. You can see it's a cave. If you jump in it, you immediately get pushed back into the back of the structure you're on. So that way we're just jumping and teleporting. And here we will complete our first golden cube. And Dot gives up some more text. So now we already have 4 cubes. The game only expects you to have 2, because you can see this door only has 2 on it. This was kind of the tutorial area. This is sort of a hub for different worlds, and we can open this door prematurely. Here we do a cutscene, or not a cutscene, but I meant to do a dialogue skip. I probably jumped a few pixels too far to the right. If you jump a bit more to the left, then you skip that dialogue. This really is the hub. This is the spot we'll be passing through the most. I believe it has 6 different doors on it. The next code we will be inputting won't be for a while, so I won't be needing my cheat sheet just yet. The first area we'll be going into is the bell. And I need to pay attention because there's a glitch that can happen where the bell is already being pressed and we need to do some specific amount of input. So the glitch didn't happen, so that's fine. There we'll be doing some more teleports.
Do you have time for donation?
Sure.
We've got a massive $170 donation from Spoiled Freckle saying, 17 deaths, huh? Not how I planned it. Hope you enjoyed the run. Here's to charity. Thank you very much, Spoiled Freckle. And with that, we have gone over 1,000 euros for this marathon. Good job, guys.
I sadly did not manage to get that teleport off completely, so we'll be doing the regular route. This is pretty much the number of the alien or the ancient civilization. That one meant 3, this one means 1, this one means 6. Usually it's really hard to press exactly 6 times because you can pre-click them, but the game does it out of sync, so you're basically counting 6 while in the background you're being distracted by other noises. This is a cycle, so we'll just have to wait a bit. Attack I did there. Off a corner you can climb up it, but that's slow, so you can jump right up. But that requires an about frame perfect input where you have to be holding to the left because you want to jump away from the corner and jump, but at the same frame as the jump you want to let go of left, so you just jump straight up. This is the first puzzle room we're actually be doing. As you can see, there's a Tetris block there. That pretty much means that we have to get the structure into that shape from this angle, and there are of course 4 angles we could see that from. That did not. I hope that will be all right because I didn't jump, but it looks fine. Yeah, it's fine. So now we throw it up, it's complete, and it turns into an anti-cube. I did not pick it up, that was strange, but let's go. So he'll be teleporting to the other side again. This is one of the spots where you don't want to do this corner kick because you get teleported to the back. I'm not sure what happens to that edge there, but it just happens. As you can see, I'm doing the teleport a bit too early there. That shouldn't be doing that. Because the teleport you can only do if you're mid-air, and I rotated too quickly. The rotation is what triggers the teleportation. especially if you're in a cave. That just looks funny. All right, so this is probably one of the tighter jumps in this game. I did it once before, but you can jump a few pixels after walking off an edge. We'll be using that mostly in other rooms. I'm missing the vine. There we go. This is the next one is the more teleport heavy room. I'll be focusing a bit, but I'm pretty sure I got this route down. So we first go twice to the right. That was just me not pressing up. And we teleport there. Here we need momentum, so that's nice. That's one of the harder ones. I'm not sure how I'm missing these jumps, but we'll keep going. Nice, got that one. And there's one more coming up, but here we go back. And we grab this one, and we want to go down immediately to skip the dialogue Dot has. And this is another point where we open the door while we're falling to our death and actually are revived. This game doesn't have much RNG. There's only one RNG factor in this game. And we have yet to see it. Sometimes there are black holes or black squares actually that appear on our screen. I'll be inputting some codes here. These codes are perfectly legitimate in the New Game Plus run, which is when we get the ability to see on the ground, but we don't have that ability, so I'll be inputting them from written code. All right, got that jump. The next code that I will be inputting is in an infinite fall room. It takes a while to realize what it is, because the alien code, you can see the stone tablet to the right there under the golden cube has some weird line on it. This room is one as well, and it's actually representing a code. And I didn't die, so that's good. Grab that one. Here I need to grab the vine, because it's just about too high to die, or too high to survive the fall. But this whole structure we just fell down, that's actually a code of inputs. We'll be seeing the Rosetta code for that, so basically the translator's stone for that. We'll be seeing that in a bit. Yeah, this room is the one where I've got the most room to improve, because it's a timer-based room, and it can be done really quickly. Oh, I forgot that there's a setting where you can change the brightness of the room, and I thought that saved through cloud settings, but that just means this is harder for me. So yay difficulty. This one is actually pretty cool, because if you have your headphones on stereo, you'll be hearing sounds to the left and right alternatively, and that's actually the code you gotta put in. So rotating left, rotating right. It's pretty cool addition. I have to jump to the left here, not to the right. There we go. So here I can't see where I'm going. That's what happens when you jump off a corner normally. You want to jump straight up. Okay, only got... I can't see this. Right, okay. Normally I just look where I need to go. Okay, cool. So this is the final bit of room. We got it on a quick cycle, so we don't have to wait. 2 to the left and then back to the right. And here, this is the door. Oh, we can see it now, so we'll have to wait a bit. This is the biggest factor of waiting in this room. Okay, so this is the first warp gate we have now. We'll be going back to the main hub we were at before. This is the first place we could have the black holes, because you need to re-enter an area to be able to trigger the black holes. We did not get them, so that's a good thing. The next thing we'll be seeing is also kind of a New Game Plus secret, but there are invisible platforms. Throughout the game, you usually gather treasure maps to see when the platforms exist, because some platforms only exist if you look at them from a specific perspective. But we know those perspectives already because we've played the game before. Those cubes, the other cubes, we'll be picking up later. So here, I'll be rotating to the left, and then we're standing on the air. And here, we need to rotate twice to land on the platform. I had too much momentum there, so I fell off. But yeah, that's another anti-cube, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the blue ones are anti-cubes, which you can usually only get, or which are meant to be got. I forgot to rotate, that's what happened. Which are usually meant to be got in New Game Plus. Yellow ones are just the cubes you gather and fill up. When you have 8 of the little ones, you fill up a big cube. What we need the cube for is pretty much the story. We need to gather all of them to unlock more areas and to get in contact with the aliens who gave us this power. So this is... Okay, there we go. Nice, that's kind of a jump I tend to mess up because I accidentally jump too early and grab the corner there. There we go. I jumped way too early there. I get lost in track in my thoughts. This is one of the rooms where you'll be rotating a lot, because you can see you can only pass through them, and then you have to rotate again to get to the other side. That's too far away. I thought I could make that cycle. I'm gonna wait now, because I don't want to jump off again. As you can see, there's another warp gate there, so that's the final cube in this area. I'm glad the kicking off a corner is going well, because if you mess that up, sometimes you really have to recover a lot. Next up, we'll be going into the forest. This is pretty much where, because there's 2 or 3 different things that are in alien language. Oh, there we have the black holes. If you fall in them, you die. But you can respawn immediately, so that's not a problem. But yeah, the forest pretty much has most of the translation stuff, at least for the language. Sometimes, somewhere in some places in the world, you can actually see warp written down, but only if you know the language in the alien language. I need to input a code here. You can see to the left it appeared. Here's a specific teleport I need to do. Nice. That's a pretty tight spot to get into to do that teleport. We have 16 cubes now, which is halfway through what we need to get. So we're halfway through already. Rotate twice. This one can be done really quickly, but it's really tight. If you don't have the momentum, you won't make it. And because you rotate, your momentum is pretty much forward or backwards instead of left or right. And that messes up your jump a bit as well. There's another code here. Tempo code. There we go. And there's more invisible platforms here. That's why I'm rotating left, because if I stayed in the perspective I was just on, these platforms would not exist. There we go. And then we can grab this chest. So yeah, you can see on the big stone there at the bottom, it has some weird signs on it. That's actually just the English language, but with different letters used. And the forest has one area where there's a sentence: the lazy or the quick fox jumps over the lazy dog, which contains all the letters of the English language, and that's pretty much a good the point where you learn to translate the words, because you can pretty much fix every letter with the English phrase. If you want to do it on your casual playthrough, it's way too hard to actually figure out on yourself. I did not, but it's a neat thing to know. This is the second puzzle. If you saw the shapes at the front stone, there are 10 of them, and they're all different. What they represent is different ways to fold a cube. And this is the final one that was not in those diagrams. I think that's one of the final puzzle cubes we'll be doing. Yeah, I think so. This one also has a code, but I know this one by heart. It's left, left, down, down, right, right, up, up. And it appeared to the right. Oop. There we go. And there's also a small bit behind it. So now we're on 20 cubes already. There's a new area, a new smaller hub. This is where we input. We found a treasure map with one of the chests we found earlier with a QR code on it. And if you scan that one with your phone, for example, it actually gives you the inputs you have to do to grab the cube. And I think I input, there we go, there's the cube. Earlier on, at the very beginning, I spoke of an anti-cube that's actually glitched in. That's this one. Because it's glitched in, we have to re-enter the room, because otherwise we can't input it. And this one is, as you can see, a QR code here. Again, if you scan that, it gives you RT, RT, LT, RT, LT, 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 RT. But pretty much because we have those written down. This one is pretty much the longest because there exist 2 throne rooms, and they join together for the longest code you have to input. But that one I know by heart. I don't know why I know the longest one by heart, but there we go. There's one more area in this hub we'll be going to. That's a telescope area. You can see it up there already in the background. You can see what area you will be entering. This introduces the gimmick of timed vines, where you have to rotate a lever to make platforms appear or vines appear for you to climb. We'll not be taking the attendant route because we're speedrunners. We'll be teleporting around like that. If the host has anything to say, I misjumped.
Sure. I can tell you a little bit about who we are. We are the Benelux Speedrunner Gathering. We organize bi-monthly gatherings in the Benelux for speedrunners. We're currently streaming our bi-monthly event in the esports gaming arena in Alphen aan den Rijn. We're raising money for the Dutch Cancer Society, which is a nationwide organization committed to fighting cancer while aiming for more cure and a higher quality of life for those already battling the disease. All your donations will go to the Dutch Cancer Society. Want me to go on a little bit more?
Oh, you can, yeah. We'll
Sure.
be just entering the telescope, so if you got anything to say, please do.
Nothing that's like really important, so if you want to take it over, you can.
Okay, this telescope is one really cool thing. This game has specific cubes which are not necessarily part of the main story, which is actually a strange thing, because this game normally goes to 200%, but there's a hidden 9.4%. This telescope room features one of that. If you look through the telescope, you can see blinking in patterns of, what do you call it, star signs. And the star signs are actually the inputs you have to do. So if you translate that binary code back to it, you get a special kind of cube, a hard cube. No one knows why it exists, but they do exist. Just a strange mystery about this game. They only found out... I'm missing some jumps. They only found out through data mining, or through mining the code, basically. So these vines are really tricky to stay on. So the next room we'll be going into is pretty much the... Why does it not... There we go. It's pretty much the translation of the weird lines we get. Because up top you can see if I press right trigger, it shows me which input that belongs to. I'm not seeing it on my screen. I don't know if that's something on my screen, but there we go. You can see on the top, you can see the inputs of right trigger, A, down, left, right. You can see the lights turning up. So pretty much that's how you know to, that's how you learn to translate that line on the stones. Here we go. Usually you get a bigger jump of that, but not a big, it's just a higher jump. Looks cool. Now we're pretty much heading into the final. Well, not the final, but the biggest one before that, which is the lighthouse. We'll be teleporting once again to the previous hub, the very starting hub. Then there's only 3 more codes I have to do and gather some more qubits. So if you have anything to say, host?
Sure. We want to thank ESA for supporting the event and following us, You can consider using your free monthly Twitch Prime subscription right here on the ESA channel. You will get access to both ESA and BSG emotes, and you get to support both the events.
Okay, so this code is up, left, right, up, right, up. So we'll be picking up the anti-cube I just spawned on a later point. One is left, right, right, left, right. I missed an input. Sometimes you rotate too fast and it doesn't register. This code, all the rotations must have happened. I probably did it fast or I missed one. Both the possibilities. There's a swag teleport here. If I can rotate exactly behind the wood here, I get teleported to the right, and that just skips 1 second of swimming. Probably opening this door, but we won't go through it yet. No real reason. Here we have to rotate back. It's faster than to walk back. There you can really see the effect of changing your perspective, because the pier is really long and to walk it down takes some time, but if we just rotate, walk to the side, we're at the back of the pier. And that's what most of the speedrun focuses on optimizing that movement. You can just rotate left and you don't have to climb up to that. This is an annoying thing in the first... I fought in my first speedrun this rotating ladder. It's really annoying to have to wait, and if you mess up a jump, you have to wait again. And I messed this up a lot in my first playthrough. Grabbing that one. Now we're at the top of the lighthouse. Now we're going in here. That's the lighthouse gone. We're going in this part. This is the only thing I actually did the speedrun strat, because you can actually see the lever down there. That means you can rotate the thing I'm standing in, but you can also teleport out of it like that. Yeah, that's the only real speedrun strat I accidentally figured out in my regular playthrough. This is another point where we'll be seeing some new game stuff. New game in the sense that don't usually find this at the beginning of your playthrough. And that's the invisible platforms again. So if I can get a great rhythm in here, I grab... Sometimes you can just get a rhythm here where you can just jump to and fro. There we go. Now we're on 30 cubes. Our goal is 32. Oh, I'm too much to... There we go, just drop down. Go through the teleporter. So now we're going back to the very beginning spot here. There we go. Open this door up. This door up. So the next room we'll be going in is the classroom. This is where you basically learn how to count if you really want to do that in your casual playthrough. And it also has a code which starts with an up input, so you have to do that as the room loads. Yeah, if I accidentally walk through the door, then that means I did it too late. Bit of a tight window. Should be fine. Left, further left, further left. Man, this fez is really making my head hot. Okay, I did it correctly, I think. There we go. Otherwise, you have to move out of the way of the door, and of course, as a speedrunner, that's slow. Now we'll pretty much be going into the very final area, which is only accessible through a teleporter in this alternate village where people only speak in a strange language. They have a working teleporting gate to the alien dimension or something, and and you can only use that once you've got 32 cubes, and in a few seconds we'll have 32. We can go through the door. You can see it in the middle there. It has 32 cubes on the door. Pretty sure that's the max amount of cubes you need to enter any area. This is the final qubit. Fills up that one, and now we got 2. That gives you a little act. Have 32 cubes. So after this, there's quite a lot of cutscenes still left. This is the teleporter. Here we have to wait. It's going to start rotating. It's very slow in the beginning, so you might not see it yet, but it's starting a little bit. In a few seconds, it will be a teleporter to another dimension. In the meantime, is there anything else you want to say?
We don't really have donations to speak of, but, I can just keep going down the little sheet, I guess. You can stay updated with us by following us on Twitter, Instagram, and at the handle BSG Marathon. Get a behind-the-scenes look at the events and stay up to date with the latest news on our marathon events and more.
This is the alien dimension. Purple and kind of spooky. We'll be in this not for long. Yeah, there's some weird lore questions that you could ask about why is this here, but yeah, it's a pretty cool game actually. The rotating really makes for some creative puzzle elements. Yeah, after this, there's still 1 or 2 minutes where nothing happens and we have to wait. Yeah, this area you can do it really quickly. If you rotate, you pause the area around you, so you want to rotate as little as possible. You want to get to the end here. Without rotating, you don't need to. So if I'm quick enough, I can make a quick cycle. Momentum is kind of important in this game. Yeah, I build up momentum to make it here. Back right. Here we do grab that corner. That faster. Grabbing a corner is usually faster than jumping all the way over it. In this case, with the weird gravity we have here. As you can see, the cycle is to be up there already, so I'll probably be rotating to the right once and on top of the owl. Time isn't yet. It will be when I'm back. I will be back in my room, and when I leave the room, that will be time. This is with the aliens, where they check how many cubes you've got. Cutscene. But the in-game timer doesn't stop, so the run doesn't stop yet. Here you can see this is kind of judgment really of what you did and how many cubes you got. 32 is the minimum you can get. Maximum is 64. Well, we say maximum, but as I said before, there are strange cubes which aren't really in the game's memory, or they are in the memory, but they are not on your save file or anywhere recorded, actually. This is the game crashing again.
What's the lore reason behind all the crashes?
Because you pretty much gain knowledge um, about a new dimension, and that's groundbreaking, and you basically crash the current 2D engine to go into 3D. That's the lore I made about it. Time will be in a few when I leave my room. But yeah, it will be in about 2 seconds. Time. Not too great of a run, but I think it PB'd. Actually, it recorded PB because I did not record any runs up until here. So, free PB on a marathon. So I will be uploading a marathon. Thanks. I want to say thanks at least to the Fez community, especially TGH. He put a lot of effort into the guide for this run, actually. It's a really great video, and it really explains a lot of the details. So thanks TGH. And thanks BSG for letting me run this. And thanks for the €50 for making me wear this. That's it.